The story begins in the remote wetlands of South America, where thick jungles and endless swamps hide a secret drug lab. During a raid, anti-drug officers take control after a fierce gunfight. Before the cartel members are captured, they dump all their toxic chemicals into a nearby river, where the poison flows into a crocodile-filled swamp. The story then shifts to college student Kyle, who sits through a lecture about apex predators. Still grieving the loss of her brother, she can only think about her upcoming trip to Florida to scatter his ashes. Her best friend, Alice, decides to support her. They travel with Malika, whom Kyle dislikes, and Malika's boyfriend, Sam, because Alice sold her own car. After a long drive, the group spends the night at a roadside motel. The next morning, they continue their trip and stop at a small store near the bay. There, Kyle notices a newspaper reporting several mysterious crocodile attacks. Outside, an elderly man desperately warns people to stay away from the water, claiming a deadly creature is hiding in the wetlands. Before Kyle can hear the full story, her friends call her back. Instead of driving, Malika reveals she secretly booked a cheap charter plane. The news terrifies Kyle because she's afraid of flying, and Malika clearly did it to annoy her. At the airstrip, they meet Frank, a careless pilot who drinks and smokes while preparing the aircraft, making Kyle even more nervous. The small plane takes off with several other passengers, including a loud businessman named Ross, who refuses to stop talking on his phone. When another passenger, Victor, stands up to confront him, the plane suddenly shakes. She is thrown into the ceiling and knocked unconscious. The problem isn't turbulence. One engine has failed. Frank and his co-pilot, Ray, struggle to keep control while searching for a place to land. Moments later, the second engine also dies. With no power left, the plane crashes through the treetops and slams into a jungle river. Kyle wakes inside the half-submerged wreck. The survivors reach the riverbank, but Victor has died, and another passenger, Zoe, is badly injured. Kyle quickly uses Sam's belt as a tourniquet to stop the bleeding. Frank searches the river for Ray but can't find him. Alice believes rescuers will arrive, but Kyle reveals the terrible truth. Malika hired an illegal charter company without a black box, so nobody knows where they crashed. Frank estimates they flew only about 15 minutes before going down, meaning the airstrip can't be too far away. As panic leads to arguments, Kyle calms everyone down and reminds them that survival comes first. She tells the group to gather anything useful from the wreck before leaving the crash site. While the others collect supplies from the wreck, Alice wanders into the jungle and unknowingly finds a nest filled with crocodile eggs. Moments later, the group spots Ray's body floating down the river. Frank rushes into the water to save him, but before he can get close, a gigantic crocodile bursts from below and rips Ray apart. Everyone flees in terror. Kyle explains that crocodiles normally don't attack people without a reason. Such aggressive behavior usually means they've entered a nesting area, where the animals will defend their territory at any cost. Realizing the danger, the survivors leave the river and hike deep into the jungle. As night falls, they stop to rest. Kyle chooses a campsite away from the water, believing it's their safest option. Although Malika questions her decisions, the others trust Kyle's knowledge. They build a fire and spend the night there. Later, Ross leaves camp alone after his phone suddenly rings despite having no signal. While searching for the dropped phone in the darkness, he comes face to face with a giant crocodile. By morning, the group finds his mutilated body, leaving everyone horrified. Confused by the attack, Kyle asks Frank if he knows anything about these creatures. Frank reveals local stories about unusually large crocodiles that are faster, far more violent, and seem to hunt humans for sport instead of food. He also mentions a legendary monster called Christina, a massive crocodile with a scar over one eye, feared as the deadliest predator in the wetlands. Soon, Alice spots a small shack in the distance. As they approach, Kyle suddenly notices several crocodiles hiding around it. She orders everyone to stay together and run as one group since crocodiles are less likely to attack something that appears larger. Before they can move, one crocodile suddenly grabs Maud and drags him away. The others sprint to the shack while several giant crocodiles chase them. Zoe is almost pulled away too, but the group beats the crocodile until it releases her, although her leg is badly injured. They barricade the shack and can only listen as Maud's desperate screams fade into silence. That night, strange roars echo through the swamp. While trying to sleep, Kyle remembers the day her brother was killed while protecting people during a supermarket robbery. The next morning, Sam discovers an old map inside the shack leading to a large building deeper in the jungle. He believes it may have a radio or another way to call for help. Malika wants to stay where they are, but Kyle argues they have no food, no rescue is coming, and Zoe's condition is worsening. After another argument, Frank convinces everyone to stay united. When he asks who wants to search for the building, everyone agrees except Malika. Before leaving the shack, Kyle gives everyone one final warning. If they see a crocodile, they must run instead of fighting. A crocodile can sprint only for a short distance. If escape is impossible, they should aim for its eyes because its powerful jaws can easily crush bone. Following the map, The group continues through the jungle until Zoe can no longer keep up because of her injured leg. Malika coldly suggests leaving her behind, but everyone ignores her and helps Zoe continue. Soon they reach a wide river with the mysterious building on the opposite side. Instead of swimming across, Kyle suggests building a raft and floating downstream with the current. Although Malika disagrees, Dom says he knows how to build one. Kyle also explains that the cool weather should keep the cold-blooded crocodiles less active for a while, giving them enough time to finish. The plan almost works until Alice accidentally disturbs a resting crocodile while gathering wood. Within seconds, several giant crocodiles charge toward them. The group quickly pushes the raft into the water, but Kyle realizes she left her backpack behind. Sam races back to grab it, then dives into the river as the crocodiles close in. Seeing the monsters gaining on the raft, Zoe makes the ultimate sacrifice. After telling Dom she loves him, she jumps into the river, drawing the crocodiles away from the others. Dom watches helplessly as she gives her life so the group can escape. Hours later, they arrive at the building marked on the map. It's the abandoned drug lab from the beginning of the story. Inside, they discover the toxic chemicals created there mutated the local crocodiles, making them far larger and far more aggressive than normal. Ignoring Frank's warning to stay quiet, Malika shouts for help, attracting another crocodile. Inside the lab, the survivors split into two groups to search for a radio. Frank, Malika, and Alice take one path, while Kyle, Dom, and Sam take another. Frank finally loses his patience with Malika and confronts her about her selfish behavior. During the argument, he accidentally pushes her toward the edge of an upper platform. She barely manages to hold on. Meanwhile, Kyle's group finds a dying boy hiding inside the lab. Before passing away, he warns them that crocodiles have taken over the entire facility. Alice soon rejoins them. As Frank reaches down to save Malika, a giant crocodile suddenly bursts, grabs him, and drags him away. With no time to mourn, the survivors saved Malika and continue deeper into the lab. They eventually reach a hallway filled with sleeping crocodiles. The radio room is on the other side, leaving them no choice but to sneak through. Kyle carefully leads everyone across, but when Sam trips just before reaching safety, the crocodiles wake up and swarm him within seconds. Kyle finally reaches the police through the radio. They tell the survivors to stay alive for as long as they can because rescue teams are already on the way. Moments later, the entire facility suddenly loses power, plunging everything into complete darkness. With the radio no longer working, the group has only one option left: leave the building. No one knows what's waiting outside, but Dom refuses to remain trapped. He says taking the risk is their only chance, and the others agree. Together, they open the door and step outside. Standing in their path is the enormous crocodile Frank warned them about, the legendary predator known as Christina. At that moment, Alice opens her backpack and pulls out one of the crocodile eggs she secretly took from the nest earlier. The group finally understands why Christina has hunted them so relentlessly. She wasn't attacking them at random. She had been trying to get her stolen egg back. Hoping to end the nightmare, Alice carefully holds the egg out toward Christina, but the plan goes horribly wrong. The giant crocodile suddenly charges forward and, with a single bite, snatches the egg along with Alice's hand, tearing her arm off instantly. Kyle quickly grabs a nearby gun and opens fire on Christina. As she keeps the giant crocodile focused on her, Dom and Malika rush to Alice, pull her away from the attack, and carry her to safety. Before long, Kyle runs out of ammunition. With no bullets left, she grips a knife and charges straight at the massive predator. But the attack has almost no effect. Christina easily knocks her aside, sending Kyle crashing to the ground. As she struggles back to her feet, Kyle spots several containers filled with highly flammable chemicals nearby. An idea instantly comes to her. She splashes the chemicals all over Christina, then throws a lit lighter toward the soaked crocodile. The chemicals burst into flames, and Christina is quickly consumed by the fire. The giant crocodile is finally defeated, bringing the terrifying nightmare to an end. In the end, only 4 people survive the deadly nightmare in the jungle. Alice makes it out alive, but the final battle costs her one of her arms. After everything she's been through, Kyle finally keeps the promise she made to her brother. She travels to Florida alone and scatters his ashes, giving him the peaceful goodbye he always deserved. And with that, the story comes to an end. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.